Welcome back to Invest Global. Today we're going to be taking a deep dive into Polkastarter and Polygon, this interesting collaboration and really integration moving towards more cross-chain interoperability. This is absolutely incredible. So this Launchpad project, Polkastarter, I've talked a lot about in the past, along with many other Launchpad projects, is now kind of integrating with layer 2 Ethereum, so ERC20, and this is absolutely incredible. So obviously, Polygon, previously known as MATIC, so ticker symbol MATIC, which, by the way, at the end, we're going to take a look at MATIC, Polkastarter in the Polkadot network. But the beautiful thing about Polkadot is they are focused on cross-chain interoperability with where a lot of other blockchain projects are not. So we'll take a look at both those two, as well as just their website quick. But again, the reason this is so important is you have quicker, faster, cheaper IDOs, as they state here, on MATIC or Polygon. And the reason this is so important is because Ethereum isn't really able to do these launches very, very well, right? Like you have something like TrustSwap. And to be honest, I mean, the minimum required amount, especially when TrustSwap is kind of at those all-time highs, were just completely unattainable for a lot of people. I was fortunate enough to be able to identify that project early, gain a core position in it, and have been able to benefit off of it. But I think one of the main things here with launchpads and IDOs is we want to take what was happening in the 2017 phase with ICOs and innovate on that. So make it much better, remove this kind of downside risk that a lot of people had with those ICOs, and have projects audited, have them going through these quality launch pads like ones I've talked about in the past. Again, TrustSwap, Polkastarter, BSC pad. You have things like, Ducked Out Dime, Card Starter, Soul Starter, a bunch of other launchpad projects that are doing incredible things. And the point here is you have to identify this narrative in launchpads. Okay, what are they really doing? Well, we're taking this idea of private sales. So in traditional finance with stock market, you have public and private markets. Now, anyone can invest in the public market as long as you have a brokerage account, right? So that is not a big deal. But if you want to invest in something like Elon Musk's company that isn't public, like anyone can invest in Tesla, but if you want to invest in Neuralink or let's say SpaceX or even the Boring Company, well, you would have to be an accredited investor. And that's having a net worth of over $1 million. Now, it doesn't mean you have the investing knowledge or the investing skill. You can literally just be a trust fund kid, have a net worth of $1 million, and then invest in private markets, right? And become an accredited investor. And that's not really the right way to do things, right? So that's kind of an archaic way of doing things. That's where I really see this kind of niche use case for launchpads and for these IDOs, really because it kind of is mixing this idea of crowdfunding, taking the best things of ICOs, taking the best things of private market sales, and merging them all together in a truly transparent system where you can see exactly what's going on with tokenomics, see exactly what's going on with the project, and you can do your own research to really understand, okay, what is going on? Should I get into this launchpad? And that's really what they're doing here. So this is just, I was already bullish on Polkastarter. Now I'm even more bullish. This is absolutely incredible. Definitely a long-term hold for me. Again, I've talked about this one in the past. There's a lot of these low-cap projects that I've been very, very happy to see these kind of volatility in price, because I've been able to definitely use some of those things I talked about in Global TA and just really, really benefit off of it. So I hope everyone else watching this is as well. I'm going to read through this, kind of explain, break it down as we go, and then we'll just kind of talk about these projects. So let's get right into it. Today, we're excited to announce our integration with Polygon for Polkastarter IDO in fixed swaps. The announcement will unlock tremendous scalability, cost efficiency, and interoperability for the Polkastarter IDO ecosystem as a whole. Polygon is a protocol with a mission to build Ethereum's Internet of Blockchains. So this is the layer 2 scaling solution. Again, Ethereum has these gas fees. Ethereum kind of has all these speed issues. That's really what Polygon focuses on, is kind of bring some of these transactions on a side chain or even off chain, and to go from there. So its vision is a multi-chain ecosystem that is Ethereum compatible, allowing Ethereum's ecosystem to grow infinitely without sacrificing scalability or performance. Polygon enables this with a tool set that lets Ethereum developers quickly deploy customized Ethereum compatible blockchains. So if you are a project interested in launching your IDO on Polygon, apply and express your interest on Polkastarter. We have been at the forefront of multi-chain fundraising and IDOs, and are eager to continue to work with innovative projects pushing the boundaries of capital growth. So what does integration actually mean? What is really going on here? So Polkastarter IDOs will be compatible with the Polygon network in the future. For both project and IDO participants, this means lower costs and higher throughput. So that's incredible. I mean, benefiting the end user, that's what we're looking for here. So for projects distributing tokens and participants, wallet incur gas costs, which at times can be considerable on Ethereum for IDO participants. Fixed swaps cap token allocations at typically around a few $100s. If gas costs are high on the day of the IDO, a participant can find themselves spending a considerable amount of gas, especially compared to their fixed swap minimum. So IDOs on the Polygon network enable lower fees and better scalability. This means projects will spend less and distribute tokens, and IDO participants will spend less in order to claim their tokens. So that's incredible. Moving kind of those minimum down, moving those fees down. This is what is able to get more people in, because I mean, if these minimum requirements are so high where it's just kind of ridiculous for other people to get in, they're just kind of average retail investors that just want to gain exposure to a project in this early stage. Well, we're kind of defeating the purpose, right? Like we want this kind of democratization of private sales. So that, some projects do lotteries, some projects have different approaches, but really what something like Polkadot is doing, and even BSC Starter, I really like what they're doing, because they have two phases. They have kind of this phase where you have to have the minimum, and then the other phase of what they have for the Launchpad on Binance Smart Chain. Go check out my video on that, by the way, on BSC Pad, the Launchpad. You have the second phase where essentially you don't need to have this minimum requirement. For the actual token allocation, right? So anyone can kind of interact with the second phase, and I think that's similar to what they're moving to. Not exactly with Polkastarter and Polygon, but at least more in the right direction. So what's next for the Polygon integration? Soon we'll be announcing and launching our first IDO with Polygon. Stay tuned for more updates coming for Polkastarter about the Polygon integration for Polkastarter's Twitter, and sign up for our newsletter. So that's pretty awesome. They talk about Polygon there. Now let's move into Polkastarter. I mean, basically exactly what I talked about. These are kind of two upcoming meme.com. I have never heard of this. Yeah, not down with these meme things. That's kind of hilarious though. I got kind of sidetracked. So these are the upcoming pools. So in 2 days, this will be launched. Stratos, decentralized data mesh. Oh, that's actually kind of interesting. Maybe I'll do a video on this. Yeah, let me know in the comments if you want to see a video on upcoming IDOs for the Polkastarter ecosystem. These are the pools that have already happened, where they've already been filled, right? So pretty much all of these get filled almost right away. It's fairly rare that these don't happen. I mean, Antimatter is a great one. Super Farm, some people don't like, some people do. Let's see, Chain Guardian's interesting. I think this is an NFT project, if I remember correctly. Refinable was great. So they've had a lot of quality projects come out of here, just like something like TrustSwap has had, and even something like Ducktile Dime has had. But yeah, so moving on, Polkastarter POLS, 44,000 people like this, right around $1.77. Market cap is around $123 million. If we go here to max, we were kind of peaking out at that $6.47 level. So I've been picking up a little bit of Polkastarter, talking about TrustSwap. So a little bit of Polkastarter during this dip. I think it's great. I mean, if we trace a little bit more, I'll definitely be buying more because I'm holding this long term. And I like to allocate the tokens kind of to average in so I can participate in IDOs that I find interesting. So Polygon, this is a project that I've kind of talked about throughout this video. If you want to see a deep dive video on this, let me know in the comments. I've not done one yet on MATIC specifically. I've covered a lot of the kind of core infrastructure in the decentralized finance space and kind of the blockchain space in general. But I think this is really one of the most important ones, especially if you're just focused on the Ethereum play. I personally would not say, okay, if you have $100,000, should you put it all into Ethereum? Well, it depends on what you're optimizing for, right? It depends on your risk tolerance. Well, if Ethereum does well, so if any of the other tokens in the ERC20 network does well, it benefits Ethereum, because to use any of those things, Ethereum is kind of the underlying token. It's really like the currency, just like each country around the world, or the majority of countries, has their own individual currency. For example, I'm here in Tbilisi, Georgia, and it's the lari. Just like, if we were kind of in the, the cryptoverse, the country of Ethereum, or the blockchain of Ethereum, right? The underlying asset is ETH. So when anything else does well on the Ethereum network, it benefits ETH because you have to pay it with it in gas fees, and it's built on it. So just like, if you have let's say, what's a good example? Just like with Airbnb. So Airbnb is the platform. Would you rather invest in the platform or invest in one individual rental? Well, the rental can do incredibly well and can actually outperform Airbnb just on, percentage gain, but that rental is still using the Airbnb platform, right? So it's kind of the same thing here with Polygon. Now, I personally wouldn't say if you had $100,000 to go all in on Ethereum. I would say maybe take 75K and put it into ETH and then go, okay, let me identify 5 different lower cap projects relative to ETH, right? So Polygon's still high market cap. Obviously, it's $10 billion market cap, but relative to Ethereum, it's not crazy high. So I would say, maybe you want to have a nice position in MATIC. Maybe you kind of want to average in. Now, this is one of the projects that have not, it hasn't really retraced a whole lot. It's retraced down a little bit, but most projects look like this, where they've retraced a whole awful lot, kind of back down to those kind of area where Bitcoin really took off, but not really so with here MATIC. So again, this is 157,000 people like this. Or $1.68 or up about 7% on the daily. 24-hour volume is about $1.5 billion. Circulating to max supply is what you have right around 6.2 billion and circulating, and then max supply is about 10 billion. Interesting. So again, interesting project to look into. Let me know if you have any questions on any of these things. I apologize if I got a little ranty, but that's pretty much all for this video. If you enjoyed it, definitely hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell to stay up to date. Join the Telegram group to join like-minded people. So that's all for this video. Again, if you enjoyed it, like, subscribe button all, invest global, and until next time.